What's the greatest movie ending of all time? The Truman Show. Not the part where he leaves but the part when the cops say, "Let's see what else is on." Just kinda boils down modern technology society in a nutshell. Fight Club. You met me at a very strange time in my life. And then Buildings Fall, Pixies plays, perfection. The first Matrix movie. I chose to disregard the existence of the sequels. Sixth Sense, wasn't expecting. Shawshank Redemption. Return of the King. Yes, all like, 25 minutes of it. All the endings. From the time Frodo wakes up in the bed till the end. We're never going to have a cinematic experience like those films again. Casablanca. Still quotable after 84 years. Clue, you get 3 for the price of 1. Loved the ending of Rogue One. The Dark Knight ending monologue was great too. Whiplash. The last 10 minutes always leaves me speechless. The ending of The Silence of the Lambs. Interstellar was pretty sick. And Hathaway and a typical Chris Nolan style bow wrapped on top kind of ending. Ick about overall ending, but the score for Gladiator's ending was absolute perfection. Back to the Future 2. When the letter is delivered in the rain, it's pure magic, and then when he runs back to Doc, chef's kiss. My all-time favorite ending and my favorite cliffhanger. The Life of Brian is pretty hard to beat. The Graduate, drama, The Mist, horror, Doctor Strangelove, comedy. There Will Be Blood. I Drink Your Milkshake. The Usual Suspects is the only right answer because it completely recontextualizes the previous 2 hours in 10 seconds. No Country for Old Men. Hear Me Out, LOL. The movie doesn't tie everything up nicely. It releases you into a sense of uncertainty, with conflicted feelings about where you fit. Which is the exact experience of the main character. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Endgame, delivered the fight scene everyone wanted. Inglourious Basterds when they locked the theater with Hitler inside and lit the place on fire. Spirited Away, and I Will Die on That Hill. Maybe not the greatest of all time but Lucky Number 11 was amazing and satisfying. The Pineapple Express. Yes, I'm serious. These are both similar in a way but Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels and The Taking of Pelham 123, 1974 version. Carpenter's The Thing. 40 plus years and we are still arguing. Star Wars, A New Hope. Great Shot Kid. 1 in a Million. Monty Python's Life of Brian, Always Look on the Bright Side. Unironically, the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Now, Bring Me That Horizon, is a great final line. I heard Johnny Depp improvised it, but I'm not sure I believe it. Cap and Peggy dancing is a pretty great one. Cabin in the Woods. FTW. Reservoir Dogs where, the Mexican standoff happens and the police show up and kill Mr. White after he kills Mr. Orange. The last 30 minutes of Once Upon a Time. In Hollywood where the Manson murderers, Tex, Sadie, and Katie, attack Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth and Rick torches Sadie to death with a flamethrower, which was so awesome. The last 15 to 20 minutes of Requiem for a Dream were very chaotic where, Sarah, Harry, Marion, and Tyrone's addictions all got to a breaking point, and then Luxavana comes on and they all get into a fetal position. A haunting and moving moment for cinema. Back to the Future Clock Tower sequence. The end of Infinity War. My theater was packed and you could hear a pin drop after the snap. Mr. Stark. I Don't Feel So Good. You had to be there in the theater in 77. Star Wars. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. They Live, https://youtube.b/t6audy, axtcm, SI equals GTYBXU0APGG3FAT, https://youtube.be/t6audy-axtcm ? SI $GTYBXU0APGG3FAT. District 9 has to be in the conversation here. Jurassic Park. After all the stress and mess of a dinosaur rebellion, Dr. Grant finally learned how to work a seatbelt. Shawshank Redemption and the Count of Monte Cristo. Requiem for a Dream. Tough ending but the right one. The Count of Monte Cristo. Rogue One. Though Steve and Peggy's dance in Endgame did, for some reason, bring me to tears. I'll go with the classics. I think Vertigo and Casablanca tie. Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy. The Shawshank Redemption that the final scene just hits different. 2001 starts with evolved beings, us, watching primitive man. It ends with an advanced being, the Star Child, watching primitive beings, us, watching the movie. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Life of Pi. The realization that the animals were humans after all is just a terrifying tragedy. Arrival. I didn't realize what was happening and then it kind of blew my mind. Cabin in the Woods, you just can't beat that ending. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The police were looking for a guy on a horse. Nobody in that whole crowd had a horse. It was such a great way to wind up the horseless gag. It started out as just a humorous way to deal with the lack of budget for horses, and the ending turned it into an integral part of the plot. When Elle Woods pulls off a murder defense in a pink suit then rejects Warner in Legally Blonde. I'll slightly disqualify myself because this is a TV show and not a movie, but it's so good, I had to mention it. The Newhart Show, where he wakes up and rolls over and sees his wife from his first sitcom and then tells her about a crazy dream he has, and so the whole series was just a dream. Clever. The first Indiana Jones and its revelation that the government doesn't give a shit. Lewis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Forget it, Jake, it's Chinatown. When the kid snaps the picture of Sarah Connor, and you realize the implication. Last of the Mohicans. The original Planet of the Apes movie, when they see the Statue of Liberty half buried on the beach and realize they are on a future post-apocalyptic Earth. Soylent Green is people. Tie between Godfather Part 1 and 2. The 40-year-old virgin. Spoiler, he finally gets to have sex. This is the end. It's a comedy, but the ending makes me cry every time, and it's the wholesome kind, which is the best kind. Coco also has a great ending, way up there. If you haven't seen Coco, watch it. Ghost also comes to mind. I just love 12 Monkeys. My brother said he saw the ending coming far before it ended, but I guess I'm just more slow and dumb, lol. Galaxy Quest, when the alien ship crashes into the sci-fi convention and the leads come out to be welcomed on stage just before, won't add spoiler. It cannot be topped. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You maniacs. You blew it up. Damn you. Damn you all to hell. The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Honestly, Weapons, which came out last year, had one of the best and most creative endings I've ever seen. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. And like that, he's gone. Verbal, Kint.